Well, hello everybody. Big, how you doing, Big? MD Projects, woohoo! I hope you're doing well today. Jane said good evening. Hello, Jane. Carlo said, what's up, y'all? Pops, whoop. Hello, Carlo. Jane said, hi, Big. Jane says, and hi, Carlo. See, Carlo says, hello, Jane. Big said, Jane, whoop. Hope everybody's doing well today. Carlos said, what's up, Big? Fist pound. Jane said, how was your day, Randy? I'm going to be honest with you, Jane. It's like a big hole in my heart, I'll be honest with you. Mike and Beth been here all week, and then they left this morning. I've just been busy to keep from thinking about it. But it was a good day, though. Rumpel said, hello, Pops. Hello, Rumpel. Jane says, did you do breakfast? I did not. Randy wasn't able to come to the shop, and I didn't have any kind of food to cook, so I didn't go anywhere. Rumpel said, hello, Jane. Jane said, hi, Rumpel. Big says, big boys. Hello, Chris. Chris says, hi. Matthew says, hi. Jane says, I thought you'd be missing. Yeah, I am missing them. I'll tell you what, it's dang good people right there now. Let's see, Jane said, hi, Chris. See, Rumpel says, I haven't had breakfast in close to 24 years, Pops. Oh, man. I'm not much of a breakfast person. I mean, I do like cooking breakfast and going live here and everything, but I don't do breakfast a lot. Jane says, hi, Matthew. Matthew says, hi, Jane. Rumpel says, just eat 2 solid meals a day. Well, it's pretty much, I mean, I think we done the 3 meals a day. I don't think it was really designed that way. I think it's just what was. I don't think you really need to eat that much. I know they didn't back in the cave days. That's where you didn't see a bunch of pictures drawn out as fat cavemen. Jane said, Rumpel, why? This Rumpel's Jane had to go to work quite early in life. No time for breakfast. I understand that. I usually pack me something, peanut butter crackers or something like that, or that's what I'll eat kind of as a snack. I don't really have time for breakfast in the mornings either. Get up and go, and then I'll just, like I said, I'll eat a snack or something. Rumble said, it's been quite busy years. I do understand that. Let's see. James says, I don't usually do breakfast either. My stomach isn't awake. Growing up, Mom used to cook, like on the weekends, she'd cook enough so we'd have breakfast in the morning when we got up to go to school. But once I got, up and about, I didn't do breakfast very often. Let's see, Reaper said, meow. Hello, Reaper. Miss Reaper said, I got my job back. Well, that's good. Now what are you gonna do with $100,000 truck? You gonna return to sender? Rebel says, I cook for myself for about 15 years. It's not top notch gourmet food, but it's quite edible. Well, that's all that matters. Let's see. Reaper says, no, make it a drag truck. Hey, that sounds good. Built for It 25 says, hi, hello, how you doing? Welcome. I don't recall seeing you in here before. Welcome to the channel. CDL driver, cool. Like I said, welcome. Glad you're here. Is would you rather for me to call you Built for It, or you want you got a name that you'd rather be called? We got a good live here, a lot of good people. We come in, I try to read everybody's comment, and we try to keep everything positive. Rumble said, did Randy Jr. go through his first assessments? Yes. He went through, the bone has healed and done what it's supposed to the screw, but they still said he could not go. They first told him it would be 4 weeks. He'd have to stay in the chair because of the ligaments in his hip. But then they said they're going to let him start physical therapy in 3 weeks. So he has at least 3 more weeks in the chair. He can drive, though. He just cannot put pressure on his legs. Let's see. Charles W. says, howdy, sir. How you doing, Charles? Built for It says, you can call me Zenith. Is that right, Zena? If you want to, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. I may say it wrong, Zena. I'm not good with names, but I will call you either way. I will, and I may forget it and have to go back to the other, but I'll call you Zealand. If I'm not saying it right, please tell me. Rumpel said, still a positive. Yes, baby steps. That's right. I mean, like I said, Randy and I had that conversation. We were so close to him not taking another breath. So we just got to do what it says. And soon enough, this all be behind us. He'll be back up here making content with us, and we will be working on our cars. So at least he can still be here. That's what I'm keep trying to say. Wilford said, my name is Zaylin. Zaylin? Is that right? Zaylin? Reaper said, so there might be a positivity for me getting my land back. Dang, that's even awesome. Possibility. Listen to me. Of me getting my land back. Well, that'd be good. Charles W. said, if you don't mind, if you do, I'm building a cabin. There you go. I got to slow down and read. I missed my words. Zaylin. I believe that's what it is. Zaylin. I'll try to remember that. Yes. All right. I will try to remember that. That's a unique name. If you don't mind, we do have a world map, and I try to stick a pin in for everybody. Where are you talking to me from? Jane said, Reaper, I wonder how many times they'll give you your job back. Let's see, Built for It, USA. Well, we're in Denton, North Carolina, in the USA. I just didn't know exactly, like I said, we got the world map. We put everybody, or we try to. There's a lot of people come in and don't tell us, but we do have a world map for everybody. Michigan. Oh, sounds good. Now I will write that down. I'm not good with it, but I'll write that down. I'll put a pin in for you. Thank you for stopping in. We are glad to have you. Let's see. So James said, Reaper Built USA. Reaper says, I don't know. Guess I'm lucky. That's right. Jesus said, hey, Randy. Hello, Jesus. Zaylan said, Lenawee County. I know I screwed that up, but like I said, thank you. Jane said, I'd say you're lucky that they keep giving it back. Let's see, Reaper says, and they are asking $900,000 for your land? Good Lord. Jesus said, thanks for this morning again. Hey, man, like I told you, you don't know what you've done for me, so I'll do everything I can for you. I promise you. You lifted my spirits up the other day. It was just a good thing, and if I can help you, I'll be glad to. Jane said, Zaylen, my granddaughter is going to Adrian College. I know I probably said that wrong too. I thought I heard something. Sorry. Zaylen said, no, you had it right. All right. Jane said, hi, Jordan. FDD says Ford or Chevy. I like Chevy and GMC. Reaper likes Ford, but he does like pushing them. Jesus said, hey, Jane. Jane said, hi, FDD. Zaylen says, I live right behind Adriel College. I know I'm saying that wrong, but now, like I said, I'm not very good with names, but Jane said Chevy. Jesus says, be right back. Reaper said, there it is. I wasn't going to leave it. Zaylen, oh. If y'all don't mind, I'm going to step there and get me a drink. Y'all don't go to, let's see. Zaylen says, yep, you said, I'm sure I did. I'm sorry. You hang around this live long, you'll see I say a lot of things wrong. A lot of people really do help me out. They write it out, kind of like you did a minute ago. Let's see. Reaper said, yo, I do like pushing them. Zaylen said, not from the area, huh? No. And even if it was, I really don't, like I said, I'm not very good with names and stuff. I do the best I can, but anyway. Jane said, Randy is in North Carolina. Yep, Denton, North Carolina. Let's see. Kitty said, hello. Hello, Kitty. Beth said, hey, Randy, we miss you. Beth, you have no idea. I'm telling you. I've felt like a hole in the bottom of my stomach since y'all pulled out the driveway. It's really, I had to stay busy, cut me some wood. Y'all some dang good people. I miss you. I really do. Jane said, no, I'm from Ohio. Jane said, hi, Kat. Zaylen said, Adrian. Is that right? Adrian? Huh. Kitty said, hey, Jane. Jane said, hi, Beth. We miss you guys. Jesus says, how are you? I'm doing great. I just miss my friends. Jesus said, back? Nope, I still said it wrong, didn't I? I'm sorry. Drain. D-R-A-I-N is drain. Adrian. Reaper says, Annabelle says hi. Tell Annabelle we said hi. Hello. I bet she's glad you got your job back. Let's see. Zaylen says, I don't know how to tell you guys how to say it. Well, I'm sure everybody in this live knows how to say it other than me. Let's see. Jesus says, Adrian. Is that right? Adrian? Oh, you got it now. There you go. Reaper says, I'm thinking it might be her. See, Zaylen, everybody helps me out because I'm not a smart man. Jane says, Adrian. Jesus said, yes. Chris says, hello from Ireland. Ireland's in the house. Welcome. Let's see. Reaper said, "Oh man, can be careful with that soda." I know. Mike says, "Hey Randy and everyone, it's me, it's Ernest T. Bass." Man, I wish you was right outside. I'm telling you, I already. You didn't even get out of sight, and old stomach felt bad. I'm telling you, Mike, y'all y'all good people. I really miss you. Thank y'all for your help and your time this week. Jane said hi, Chris. Kitty said, "Hey, Lone." Chris says hi, Lonely Jane. Jesus said, "Hey, Lone." Jane said hi, Mike. Zealand says, "Do you know Spanish?" I do not. There's a lot of people who come all over the world when they do different languages and writing it. I will translate it and read it, but I do not know Spanish. I wish that I did know a different language. I think that's awesome. Chris says, "I'm a tech dinosaur guy." Let's see, Jesus said, "Should I call you Mike Long?" If I'm sure, I'll let him answer, but I'm sure he doesn't care if you call him Mike. Mike says, "We are currently in Greenville, South Carolina." I was going to send you a text and ask you if you made it, but I didn't want to, sound stupid. Let's see. Zena says, "I speak Spanish," and said, "Translate that." There you go. I speak Spanish. Daryl said, "Good evening." Hello, Daryl. Rumble said, "Long Wrench." Hello. Zena said, "Daryl." Rumple said, "Metal Arts." Hello. Mike said, "It's more than fine, Jesus." Chris said, "Raining in Ireland, guys. Hope that don't shock you too much. Please keep it." I took vacation so Mike and I and Beth could do a lot of work here, and it rained, I think, 90% of the time here, so please keep your rain. Jane said, "Hi, Daryl." Zena said, "Yes, I know Metal Art Customs. Cool." Jesus said, "Okay." Beth said, "You wouldn't have sounded stupid." Well, believe me, I did cut some wood to get my mind off of it and everything, but I'm going to tell you, it was, it's hard to see you guys pull out. Daryl says, 2.5 hour member video is up. I'll probably have to put that on and let it play. I won't have time for the next couple of days to watch it, but when I do, I will watch it for you. Cindy said, "I watch this channel all the time." Cool. Awesome. Cindy, so I do appreciate you stepping over here. Daryl said, "I appreciate it. Yes, we are one big happy family." Kitty said, "Mac." Chris said, "Such a lovely man. Well done, mate, and bless you and yours." You too, Chris. Olivia said, "Kitty, Olivia, I put a video up. I am putting a video up. There's something at the end of the video just for you." Zena said, "Yeah, you do a great job with the painting, Daryl." Daryl says, "Hi, Jane, Jordan, Kat, Bilt, and Chris." Olivia says, "Hi, Pops." Hello, Olivia. Kitty said, "Olivia." Daryl said, "Ghostly, grind. I like your Chevy. Thank you." Jesus says, "Hi, hey, Metal." Olivia said, "Thank you, Pops, and hey, Mac." Zena says, Daryl, it's Zena. Damn it. I said it right a minute ago. Enduro Man said, "Hi, hello." She laughing at me. I'm telling you, it'll take me a while, but when I get it, I'll try my best. Jesus said, "How's R3? I'm going to be honest with you, Jesus. He's kind of down. He don't like the idea that he's going to be in that chair for 3 more weeks before he can start physical therapy, and it's taking a toll on him. His mind is everywhere, I'll be honest with you. Enduro says, "I love your vids. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody watching them." Olivia says, "I like my Chevy too. Grind what I'm not taking nothing, Pops. You can go to sleep." See, I like my Chevy. To run what I'm not taking nothing, Pop. You can go to sleep. But that would be the second one. When you see that one, that will be the second one. We're even now. Good, because I'm out of tires. Daryl said, it's only time. It will be over soon. Deep breaths, R3. It will be, but I'm telling you, we are. I know it's something to do with YouTube, the way they are hitting us and taking a lot away from us, but we're not able to do the videos like that we were doing, and it's hurting all the way around. To be honest with you, so I'll be glad when it's behind us, but we'll just have to go. Maria says, so how was the breakfast? We didn't do it. Randy didn't come to the shop, help Beth and them load up, and they got gone, and I did not do the breakfast. I really wasn't in the mood to do the breakfast. When Beth and them left, I was kind of lost, and like I said, I was by myself. I wasn't going to cook here by myself, just my 2 pancakes, and so I just grabbed a chainsaw and started cutting some wood. Then it said, do you remember how to say anything that I have said here so far? Probably not. It'll take a while. I mean, you're welcome to keep coming in, and I'll keep trying. And we'll just, if you'll bear with me, I will get it eventually. And Daryl says, I know it's getting to all of us. Maria's frowning face. Adrian. Mike said, Maria, when does school start for you? Maria says, well, we were going to enjoy it even if it's pancakes and just you. Zena said, yes. I'll work on it. Let's see. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lenawee County. Lenawee. I know y'all would definitely have to hyphenate that now for me. Let's see. Daryl said the other office would be good firewood room for winters. Keep it dry. No, that's the reason we're in this office, because that one leaks. That's why I had to bring the computer up here. But I've got a roll around card. It's on the video, and I'll fill that card up. I am going to get something. I want to get a container to go out here, or a 18-wheeler, one to just dry, and I want to throw the wood in it. Let's see. Kato said, where is the funny man that has scaring me everywhere time before? Is he dead again? Where's the funny man that was scaring me every time before? No, he's at his in-laws. He's still in his chair, but he's still around. Zena said, nope, you said that wrong. Kitty said, it's cold outside. Yes, it is. It was a nice day, though, but yes, I cannot stand cold weather. Daryl said, Mike, Beth, how's the trip going? Daryl said, still drier than outside. Well, you right there. You're exactly right. Linaway. Kitty's laughing. Maria said, there's a possibility I won't go to college this year. I feel so lost. The college is going to start in a few days, and I don't feel I'm ready for it. Well, we understand. Libby says, yeah, my Subaru told me it was cold when it started ticking after I turned it off. Uh-oh. Oh, I said it right. Cool. And now, if you're going to type your name and I'm saying it wrong, you have to do it in hyphens again. Zealand. Now you're going to get me cracked up, and I definitely won't be able to say it. See, Daryl said, Tyler postponed hers till next August, Maria. Nope, I said it wrong. Z. Zalian. I don't know why in the world. Let me do this right here. Let me so I'll try to do it right. Zalian. Kitty said, hey, Simple Maria, that's right. Zealand. Said Daryl. Let's see, Mike said, we're just chubbing along. I hope to make it too close to Shelbyville, Tennessee tomorrow. We're doing pretty good tonight. Got a warm camper pizza and never done project cake. We're living the dream. Man, I need to get me a piece of cake before I leave. I took that chili and hot dogs and cheese and heated it up, and that's what I eat today. Rita says, and I didn't buy anything yet, no clothes or a new cell phone, and the college in another town. This is the first time I'm going to live away from my parents, and I don't know if I'm going to make it or not. Well, you put your mind to it, you'll make it, but I do understand because that's a big step. But, you know, it is a step that everybody has to take. And Randy and I both had this conversation today. If you may not make it to that, we're not promising next minute. So if it's something you want to do, I say you go for it. Zealand said, I can tell you're not from the area. Nope. Daryl said, thought you lived in MO. Maria said, Kitty, people call it lots of names, but none of the is simple. The word is simple. It's not in my dictionary. Mike says, and don't forget the 100 pound of candy that's left over. I know. I was sitting there eating off of. Chester didn't come today. I guess he wasn't feeling good, but Hurley did. And he normally won't eat much, but he did go over and hit a little bit of candy. And I did have somebody come in that was having tire trouble. They hit a little bit of it. And then they wanted a burnout, so I had to give them a little burnout there. So it is on tomorrow's video. Jason Maria, it's okay not to go to college right now. If you aren't ready, you won't learn. You're exactly right, Jane. Maria said, how did you feel when you left your parents' house at 18? I was 19 when I left, but I didn't leave on really good terms. So it was, it was different, and so to speak, because I love my parents, don't get me wrong, and we wasn't fighting or nothing like that, but it was one of them deals where I felt like I needed to go. So it wasn't the same as what you're talking about. Zealand said, okay, I'm going to test you. All of your can play along. Oh, Lord. Daryl said, I left at 17. Maria, Zealand says, and Adrian, what are our two schools buses companies? That I don't know, because I work for Thomas Bus, and I don't know. I know that I'm going to get real behind. And I know Bluebird's in, I think, Atlanta. I know there's Carpenter. I don't know where it's at. And there was I don't know. Let's see. Maria says, how did you make that? I meant it's a hard thing just to think about. I don't know. Let's see. Never fear, I'm here. Hello, Lotus. Hey, Mama Bear. Daryl said Lotus. Jay said, Libby said Lotus. Carlos said Lotus. I was 19 when I left too, said Jane. Kitty said Lotus. Lotus said, what's up, Olivia? Daryl said big. Kitty said, hey, Carlo. Jane said, hi, Lotus. Carlos said, hello, Olivia Bell. Lotus said, what's up, Daryl? Olivia said, what do you think? What do you think? Lotus said, hey, Kitty, Jane. Daryl says, I was married with a 2-year-old when I moved out. Carlos said, Mike, what's up? Olivia said, apps and lips. Okay, I've never heard of neither one of them. Olivia said, my friend. Lotus said, Ford makes buses too. Carlos says, hello, Kitty, Katrina. Daryl might like this one, said Zealand. Bear with me. Jane said, hi, life. Lotus said, what's up, Carlo? Lotus said, I left at 18. Carlos said, I'm doing good. Thanks, Olivia. Hope you're well. Zealand said, where is our main car shop in Adrian? I have no idea. I can't even tell you where it's at. I'd have to go find it on the map, and it'd probably take me 30 minutes. Olivia said, Boggy was kicked out at 18. Okay. Let's see. Mary says, hello from Hot Spring, Arkansas. I've not heard that, so I need to write that down. Let's see. I'll write that down and I'll get you on the world map. I got about a list here. I'll have to, I'll probably get one of the kids when they get here to look it up. They're a lot faster at it than me. Sooner said it's not APS, it's LISD. Rita said, yes, I feel I want to go too. I want to be independent and try to live away from my parents. Now in another town and in several years, maybe in another country. But at the same time, it's hard. I mean, like I said, Olivia, Maria, I can only understand. I was ready. I kind of wished I would have stayed and made it work out. It wasn't near as bad as I made it out to be, but it would have been easier on me financially, but you live and learn. Olivia said, ask Lotus what I'm dealing with. Zaylen said, it's on Dean Street. Lotus said, Maria, if your living situation is good, stay as long as you need. I agree with Lotus too. Olivia said, also Lotus, he is doing it right now. He is the damn thing bathing in chlorine as we speak. Daryl says, Michigan? Yes, Daryl, why? Said Zealand. Lotus said she's been fighting a shark that took over her car all day. Daryl said about 3 hours from here. Or so, said Daryl. Lotus said, oh Lord. Carlos said, hello, Zealand. Kitty said, not bad, too far. See, Olivia said, Oli is perfectly fine, cockhead. I'm talking about the damn Charger. Maria said, but my dad says I shouldn't go. He thinks I can't make it and rely on myself. I want to prove him wrong and show him I can live alone without his help. Bo says, take the joke, poophead. Well, I mean, you know, I'm sure you could do it, Maria. You're a very smart person. I said, Olivia, I'm sure you can do it, Maria. You're a very smart person. I apologize. I don't know why I get y'all's name mixed up. See, Olivia said, Pops, we bought the RX-7. Did you? Awesome. Cool. Maria says, I'm exhausting my mind with thinking. Yeah, I know where you at for that. I can definitely get tired of thinking myself. I've been trying to tell myself to think about other things all day. Olivia says, I can do it. I'm smart. That's right. Lotus said, Maria, the world outside your family is cruel and harsh. Make sure you are ready to go before you jump into it. Jane said, Maria, do you have a job? Daryl says, I have a 45-minute premiere at 8 Eastern today, weekly briefing. Maria said, because we're both smart divas. There you go. Olivia said, Boggy, not so much. He is about as bright as a raw stone. That's love right there. Maria said, no, Jane, I don't. Do they have it where you can, have a job and do the job of what you're going to school for, kind of simultaneously? Hugh said, hello, Randy. Hello, Maria. Maria says, hi, Hugh. Daryl says, Hugh. Hugh says, hello, Olivia. Olivia says, but that 72 Charger is going to be bright as hell, though. Carlos said, what's up, Hugh? Jane said, hi, Hugh. Hugh said, hello, Daryl. Olivia said, hey, Hugh. Mike said, Hugh. Hugh said, Jane. Kitty says, hello, Grand Pedovic. Hugh said, hello, Lotus. Lotus says, hello, Hugh and Mike. And Carlos says, hello, Mike. Hugh says, hello, Kitty. And hello, big boys. And Mike says, Lotus. Lily said, Pops, you remember when Boggy bought a 72 Charger, then about the 68? Yep. I remember y'all talking about it. Lotus said, we should chrome out Randy's power chair. Yes, I have thought about doing a little painting on it. I wish Olivia and them was closer. I'd get her to do some graphics on it. Olivia said 69, not 68. You said, I'm living the live up, don't. I'm living to live up, don't I? Yep, there you go. Rhea says, I didn't understand what you meant. Me? Mike says, hi, Carlo. Hugh says, hello, Bilt. Jane says, Maria, how can you make it on your own without Dad's help? You will need to pay for your housing, food, and school. Oh, I know what you're saying now, Maria. Like here, if, like for instance, nursing, you can go to school and also help out on, I don't know if nursing does it. I know my son was doing it. He went to school, to college, and then he went to where doing the CNC, and then he worked there. When he wasn't at school, he was at the place working, and he got paid for both places. He got paid from the job to go to school and to go to class and go to work and actually work CNC. Let's see. Lotus said, paint it like his burnout car. Yeah, that'd be cool. Jesus said, hey, Hugh. Carlos said, what's up, Mike? Maria says, no, the school are free, but the food and the apartment are not. Libby said, well, Boggy is chroming the damn Charger. Oh, well, he said he was wanting to. Hugh says, hello, Jordan. Maria said, fish memory. Yes, Maria, I have, believe it or not, Maria, I do have a lot on my mind, and it's going in different places. I'm still trying to remember the other names so I don't miss it when it comes back up. And I'm sure I'll mess it up for a while. Lotus said, the power, water, gas, internet. Livy says, and medical bills. Kitty says, agree. Lotus says, I don't know how it is in Iraq, but it's expensive here to live a decent life. Long said, or Mike said, hi, Kitty. Hugh said, right, Lotus. Kitty says, hey, Lone. Hugh says, hello, Mike. Hugh says, make it home, brother. No, I think he's going to take a couple of days before he makes it home. He just drive a couple hours a day. He's going to take the long way, the scenic route. Oh, and Mike, I found the square bit that I was looking for. It's on the desk up here, like I would have found it up here. But that's it, the long one I was telling you about. So you said you can make decent money here and still be poor. Amen. You said, oh, okay, he is traveling. Kitty said, right. Yes, he's just going way over this way, way over that way. Lone said, oh no, you currently in Greenville, South Carolina, hoping to make it to Shelbyville, Tennessee tomorrow with the fingers crossed. Daryl said, did the hoist work? I didn't even mess with it today. I'm sure it will. I'm going to fill the lines up with fluid, but I cut the tree and I cut up that wood and split it and loaded it and stacked it, and then Hurley come over and I watched the race. I just got to get up there and I'm about sure if I prime it out, it'll work. You said that's the way to do it. Lotus said, tell me about it, you. Let's see. Lotus says, I work and I can still barely afford to buy stuff. I know what you mean. Daryl said, okay, it was supposed to be good, but like I said, I've never used it. Well, it's coming on. I mean, I'm just about sure it's because of the air. Air in the lines need to be primed. Hugh says, I make more than most people, but it's just me, so it's like two people not making much. Maria says, well, I'm still going to take money from my dad. The normal here is staying at your parents' house, and they'll still spend money on you until you finish your education and start work. See, you said, that's nice, Maria. See, Olivia says, I'll give up trying to say what I'm saying. YouTube hates me. Lotus said, that's the way to go. You said, Lowell, Olivia. Maria says, it's different from America. People here stay until they 25 or sometimes 30, and we don't mind it. Lotus said, well, now at my house, I didn't make mine move out. Now, mine would have kept staying right there just like you're talking about. They, had jobs and everything. Randy got married, and moved out. And, of course, Stephen had his reasons for moving out, but we don't make them leave. I mean, they do it on their own. Lotus said, really, you still can't get a Salvador T-Max body? Daryl said, Maria, my daughter is 22 and still here. Leva said, I can drive freely again. I'm happy. There you go. Randy actually called me today and he was driving, so that was good. Let's see. Hugh says, in America, there are a lot of men that stay in their grandparents' basement in their 40s. It's not that common, though. Yeah, they turn into trolls, come in and messing people's lives. Jesus said, I'm worried about the cost of college. I recently got into UAB, but now I have to worry about the cost, and we're not the richest here. Also, one of the reasons I was stressed. I can only imagine that. Like I said, it's not an easy thing. Olivia said, what are you up to, Lotus? Daryl said, congratulations, Olivia. Lotus says, yeah, my mom didn't force us out. My sister stayed until she was 25, but at 18, I was ready to go. You said it's too expensive to move out when you're 18, like 30-year-old. 30 years ago. Lotus says, right, now it's Olivia. Maria said, nice, but I heard most people in America move out at 18 or 19. Yes, most of them do. Lotus said, no side quest right now. No side quest right now. Lotus said, you said, Lowell, Lotus. Maria said, it's so cold. Yesterday it was hot. The weather here is unbelievable. Olivia says, oh, I has a side quest. Carlos says, how's that sense coming along, Lotus? James said, Jordan, what is UAB? Daryl said, when I moved out, I was making $3.25 an hour with a wife, kid, and apartment. When I moved out, I was making $4.50, I believe it was. That's what I was making per hour when I moved out on my own. Lotus said, like a necklace project, Carlo, a neglected project, Carlo. You said the University of Alabama at Birmingham. You said, not anymore, Maria, unless there are 3 or 4 people moving in together. Carlo said, sorry to hear that, Lotus. Lotus said, it's ready to go, but I've been busy cleaning up Halloween and got dark on me fast. Yeah, I didn't even realize the time changed last night. Jesus said, trying to become a physical therapist. He said, I moved out at 24 with a wife, kids, and was making $9 an hour. Carlos said, oh, okay, Lotus. Maria says, what are you eating? Chocolate-covered peanuts. He said, nice, Jordan. Jesus said, thank you. James said, that's awesome, Jordan. I mean, salad. Croutons for my salad. That's what I'm eating. Olivia said, I never moved out of care, just my caretakers have changed over the years. Jesus said, I'm just setting up hopes and prayers that we can find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, Jesus. Daryl said, need chocolate-covered ants, Randy. More protein. I hear you. Hugh said, time clock's calling. Have an awesome night, everybody. See you, Hugh. Thanks for stopping in. Olivia said, Pop, said, Lotus, you hungry? Yes. Rhea said, very good salad then. That's right. Jesus said, I know. Rhea said, for real, I really want you to eat a real salad one day. I do eat salads. I like salads. They don't stay with me, but I eat salads. Especially if I go out and eat and get a steak, I get steak, baked potato, and a salad. Carlos, I like the sugar-coated almonds that they give out at weddings. Yeah, I try not to go to weddings. Jesus said, bye. Hugh Lowe said, are those the Cheez-It flavor croutons? Yes. Mike said, okay, I'm lost. Who is Jordan? Jesus. Lotus said, yes, about to order pizza. Jesus said, me? Daryl said, I had one yesterday, salad, steak, fish, taters, beans. Lotus said, I'm making chicken Alfredo. Lotus said, I want some. Maria said, I think it'll be a historical moment and it'll never happen again. They'll teach the children about it in schools. Mike said, thank you. Jesus said, E.G. Maria said, well, if you eat it, show us why don't you. If you eat it, show us why you don't record it. Well, I normally don't record my eating, but then again, I haven't been out to eat like that in a pretty good while. We've been cooking here. Lotus said, if you can reach it, you can have it, Lotus. Lotus said, I'm sure it will be a holiday national. Randy ate a salad today. That's right. Jesus said, Lowell, pork chops. How you doing, pork chops? Pork chops says, how's it going? It's going great. Lotus said, Go Gadgets Arms. Daryl said, who, me? No, not become eating. I don't like proud me when I eat either. Carlos said, Inspector Gadget. Olivia said, if they van reach to Tennessee, then I'll go for it. Mike said, pork chops, what's up? Maria said, yeah, and all people should eat salad too in that day. Yeah. Everybody should be off of work too. They'll say, well, you two box that up. I don't know. I didn't know if YouTube did or I did. Pork said another day he can't complain too much. I'm going to order a pizza for dinner, I think. Hey, that's what Mike and them's eating. Grandma said, hey, hi, Pops. Hello, Grandma. Grandma said, hi, Mac. Grandma, I hope you're feeling good. Maria says, hi, Grandma. Daryl says, I'm getting Oreos and milk. No, I'm not trying it. Last time it cost me a keyboard. Olivia says, and have a day off work. Yeah, there you go. Carlos says, hello, Grandma. Mike says, pork chops just got done eating my pizza. Grandma said, hi, Olivia. Jesus said, hi, Grandma. Olivia said, hey, man. Grandma said, hi, pork chops. Grandma said, hi, Mike. Daryl says, had sirloin, beans, and rice for lunch today. Grandma says, hi, 6 pork chops. Said, how's Junior physical therapy going? They won't let him do that yet. He went Friday for his x-ray. They said the bone is healed, but he's going to have to stay in the wheelchair for 3 more weeks to let the tendons heal before he can start physical therapy. Daryl says, hi, Grandma. Pork chop says, hi, Grandma. Long said, Grandma. Daryl said, Lord. Maria said, where did the orange shirt go? Why don't you wear it anymore? This is actually orange. It just has faded in the wash. And I've got a whole pile of clothes I've got to go wash tonight. So I've not been able to wash clothes. Carlos said, oh, thank God the Advil has kicked in. Grandma said, hi, Maria. Lotus says, Lord, we own more than one shirt, Maria. It's not all the same shirt. Yeah, there's about 3 or 4 of them up there. And believe it or not, I actually gave one away the other day. One of my orange shirts to the guy that broke down out here. Carlos said, hello, Grandma, sweetheart. Grandma said, hi, big boy toys. Grandma said, Lotus. Maria says, it's not orange. Yes, Maria, it is orange. It's just faded. Daryl says, no, will they remove the rebar or is it permanent? It's permanent. It's in there to stay. From here on out, permanent. Lotus said, hi there. Maria said, it's not orange. I'm not going to argue with you, Maria. Grandma said, okay, I'm okay, Pops, I guess. Maria said, Lotus, I'm so happy. Jesus says, it's like a light orange. It's faded, yes. But orange is still orange. It don't matter how bright it is. Lotus said, that Randy, a great guy, give you the orange shirt off his back. That's exactly right. The man put the fire out on the truck with his shirt, and then he was going to go in and eat. So I didn't think they was going to let him in the restaurant with no shirt, so I gave him one of my orange shirts. Maria says, no, it's not orange. Carlos said, it's peach, Pops. Jesus said, yeah. Olivia said, the heat on the Suburban works so well, I think I'm going to take me a road trip. All right. Lotus said, that's good, Olivia. Daryl said, so airplanes will be fun to get on. Yeah. Liv said, small one, though. Maria said, it's not. Daryl said, it does look kind of peach. Daryl says, you got that right, Lotus. He's a good dude. Maria said, it's the color of sand. If you think sand's orange, whatever you think. Grandma said, and new shirts are not out yet, Pops. No. We don't have anything going right now because with Randy hurt, I don't have anybody here that be steady to be making the shirts. So we're working on it. I'm here by myself trying to do my job, do the YouTube, keep the doors open, still do the videos. I can do the shirts, but we put certain things on hold for now. We haven't forgot about everybody. But we will get back once Randy gets back out of the chair. Maria said, I'll send the color to 5 of my friends and I'll prove it's not orange. You can do whatever you want. I know what color I'm wearing. You can't tell me no different. Because I said, that's it. I said, you understand? It might be you're one to you, but this is my shirt. Lotus said, what are you snacking on? There's the chocolate covered peanuts, the chocolate covered almonds, sorry. Olivia said, that isn't peach, it's just faded candy orange. That's all it is. That's what I'm trying to say. Olivia, thank you. You get it. Daryl said, sand is tan unless you're in Iraq and it's brownish tan. There you go. Riz said, I'm not colorblind. Don't drive me crazy. I'm not trying to drive you no way. I dang want to know what my shirt is. Jesus said, but you are crazy. There you go. Grandma said, you're doing an amazing job. Pop's proud of you. Thank you, Grandma. Carlos said, everyone in here is working class, folks. That's right. Libby said, chicken Alfredo sauce, Lotus. That's what I'm snacking on. Daryl said, agree, Grandma. Maria said, maybe the lighting affected it. It might be. And I mean, dang, maybe between Denton, North Carolina and Iraq, maybe the pigment colors have gotten lost along the way. I don't know. Jesus says, I'd love to have one of those shirts I could share to your channel. Like I said, Jesus, if y'all just give us a chance to get back on our feet with Randy back here, we're going to make it happen. We just have not. We still don't know how it's going to work out with Randy's money thing and his bills and the bills for the building and stuff like that. So, and if it comes down to it, I'll go make a loan, whatever I got to do. But we can't spend too much money as far as the business goes until we find out how long Randy's going to be out of work. Let's see. But we've not forgot about everybody. We will get on it once we get back to it. Lotus said, it's real sauce. Olivia said, I'm not colorblind. Yes, it's made from scratch. Jane said, Maria, there's a different shades of orange. Just because it's not bright orange doesn't mean it's not orange. Lotus said, Randy colorblind, to him, all shirts are orange. No, I just wear all orange shirts. Maria says, I'm not crazy. Grandma said, hi, Jane. Jane said, hi, Grandma. Lotus says, most here, Carlo. Kenny says, hey, lad, how y'all all doing? I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. I hope you are, Kennedy. Maria said, orange is orange. I'm not seeing any orange. It's close to orange, but you can't call it orange. Watch me. Listen, watch me very carefully, Maria. This is a orange shirt. I can call it orange. See that back there behind me, the writing? That is also orange. It is a different... Let's see, where am I at? Daryl said, KG. Lotus said, Hugh, set up another GoFundMe for Randy. No, that we're good. We'll make it. We're good with that. We're fine. Thank y'all. Lotus said, hey Ken. Lotus said, I love real Alfredo sauce. Carlos said, I wish I could work at Lotus. I wish I could work, but my mental and physical health is poor, so I can't. Jesus said, is your favorite color orange? Yes, that is my favorite color. Olivia said, and Maria, it's a shade of orange. That's what I was trying to say, shade. But it was actually bright. It's just washed so many times that it has faded. See, Rumpel said, I saw the pic of Randy Jr.'s son in orange t-shirt. I think Madison posted it. We had both baby girls dressed up as me for Halloween. We got a picture of all three of us. They had Addie had her glasses on and her beard. It was funny. Let's see. Lotus Carlo didn't mean that against you. We have a few trust fund kids out there sometimes. Grandma said, yes, it is orange. Daryl said, Rumple. Grandma said, hi, Rumple. Rumple said, Grandma, hello. Daryl said, that's his daughter and his two girls. Yes, that's what I was going to say. But that they both dressed up as Papaw and had their orange shirt, never done project shirt on, and with their white and gray beard. It was funny. It was real pretty. I liked it. It really made me feel good. Let's see. Libby said they're shades of color, but they're all is though the same color. It's a different lighting hits it. Rumple said, Metal Art, hello. Kenny says, did you see what happened to Daryl's shop? Yes, I did. He has sent me pictures, and he's done a good job at securing it. Beth said, different shades of orange. That's right, Beth. Jesus says, I get that. Carlos says, no problem, Lotus. Yes, some spoiled kids in here. No, we won't say that, Carlo. Let's see. Lotus said, yeah, we did see Daryl's shop. Rumble said, oh, that was daughter, my bad. Sorry, that's fine. They did have their bald caps on, so you couldn't see their hair. It was funny. I really enjoyed it. Grandma said, Beth. Olivia said, how I know this because I go to college for arts. Maria said, okay, if you say that your skin is orange, it is close to orange, but I'll consider it orange anyway. Maria said, where's the photo? Let me see if I can look it up. Hold on a minute. Jane said, Madison, you need to put the pic of the girls and you on the community page. They're adorable. Olivia said, Maria, wrong. The color is peach because it's closer to white than yellow, and UT is closer to orange. Y'all gonna confuse her. Rumble said, Maria must be under community tab. For me, it just popped up in the regular feed. Grandma said it was sad. I have you in my prayers, Mac. Things always happen to good people. King said, so what's the next build coming up for NDP? I think we are going to, we've got a, Randy and I are talking about doing some motor swapping around. I think we're going to put the big block in Black Betty. There you go. It won't focus. I wonder what that. Let me see some. Make sure. I wonder what that's for. I wonder if somebody needs that to reach the pedals. Let me get caught up. Grandma said, Mrs. Regular feed. Grandma says, that was sad. Kenny said next. Daryl said, thanks, Grandma. Olivia said, share with the class. Daryl says, Grandma, tonight is the daily briefing premiere of last week. Kenny said, nice. Jesus said, Maria said, oh, so cute. Kenny said, oh, that's a fine pack of your minis, me. Yes. They were so happy. Now, like I said, the baby is just trying to figure it out anyway. But Addie was, she was happy to be coming in like that. Um, Grandma said, thanks, Max. Liv said, took the only guys. He is adorable. So I think that would be my phone wallpaper. Haha. Yeah, I probably need to do that. Let's see, Olivia says, go to hell, I don't need to reach the pedals. Grandma said, you all look so cute. Olivia's blowing out smoke. What the? Olivia said, grrr. Bad part of that was a seat in the go-kart. Grandma said, I screenshotted it. That's cool. It was fuzzy. It didn't come through as good as it. I think the picture's pretty cool. I was thinking. Oh yeah, it's on Facebook, I believe. Jesus, I would have, but could barely see it. They said that's not a go-kart seat. Let us help. Shannon, hey, it's been a while. How you doing, Shannon? And Shannon said, hey, Randy. You have a good trip? Olivia said, that's regular WRX. That's our seats. I'm just playing, Olivia. Grandma said, hi, Shannon. I'm sorry, I'm eating salad croutons. Carol says, do you feel like you got a lot done this week, Randy? Well, yes, I did. It's not what I wanted. We got the bathroom all but the door built, and I didn't do the ceiling, but I got the bathroom done. That took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but we got that. We got the lift, got all that wired and everything, but we still did tires, wheels. I did 2 sets of tires. We got the whole shop, the 3 bays cleaned up, and I think we got a lot done. I was hoping to get a little bit more, but I didn't. Believe me, it took longer to drill into this wall for this 1947 built building than I anticipated. But yes, we did get a lot done. Grandma said, how long was your premiere? Now, Mike, how long was your premiere? Olivia said, here, I'll share more. Daryl said 45 minutes. Daryl said, I never felt I'd done enough. Kenny said, I have been working a bit on getting my channel together. The camera is my last part. Any suggestions on what to use for a camera? We got a GoPro Hero 7 is what Randy's got. And I've got the 360 that you can video in 360 degrees. I suggest the 360. I like it. You just got to get used to it, but it does a real good job. That's what I like. And they're not too god awful bad. They are a little expensive, but they're not real bad. I want one of them that goes around your neck and it's got a little magnet on it that stays on your chest. I'm thinking about ordering one of them for when I'm working. It's right here. I don't have to worry about it out there. Let's see. Grandma said, okay, thanks. Daryl said, I use a GoPro 8 kg. Grandma says, I go on at 9. Michelle says, good evening. Hello, Michelle. Olivia says, see, I don't need a special thing. I'm getting big for the car. Let's see. Lotus said, I use GoPro 11. Daryl says, I know you told me the bill in Bill's Live tonight. Grandma said, hello, Michelle. Daryl says, GoPro 11 overheats too bad. Lotus says, mine doesn't. Daryl said, I just got a new GoPro 8 for $299. Lotus said, my 10 did. Shannon said, I'm good. I'm not making a trip until May for my birthday. I can't believe I booked that flight because I always talk myself out of everything. For me, I'm doing this. Oh, I thought when you posted on there you were there. Sorry. Levy said, that's the best thing to do is go ahead and do it and make yourself do it. Don't back out. Levy said, look at it, Pops. It's a nice car. Kenny said, well, thank you for your input. I appreciate you all. Daryl says, Adam got rid of his 11 right away. Michelle said, hi, Grandma. And Lotus said, if it does, I'll call GoPro and make them replace it again. Yes, Olivia, that is a very pretty car. I like it. Let's see. Olivia said, that's also my handiwork. Cool. That's pretty. I think that's the picture you sent me the other day asking if you thought I should paint it, if you should paint it. Lotus says, my 10 got so hot it burned itself up and stopped working. Called GoPro and they sent me a 10 and 2 Enduro batteries free. Carlos said, do they replace GoPro with refurbished ones, Lotus, or do they have to give you a brand new one? Lotus says, sent me an 11. Olivia said, oh yeah, it was. I forgot about that. Shannon said, I'm so sorry I haven't been on here like I was. We are slowing down at work, so I'll be here. I missed y'all. Yeah, I didn't know with everything going on, and we found out real quick that your life can change so quick. I was scared something might have happened. I'm glad everything's okay. Maria says, how much you eat from that salad every day? How much you eat from that salad every day? I ate all the croutons, the whole jar of croutons. JH7 says, hi, sorry, feeling under the weather, had pressure on face, pressure, runny nose, and scratchy throat. Ooh, that's not good. Lou said, could have been refurbed. It did not come in a standard box. Olivia said, Pops, I have lizard brain. I got a fish memory. Grandma says, missed you too, Shannon. Daryl says, I've had issues with all but the 7 and 8. 7 was way outdated, and the 8 has everything I need, and I film 8 hours a day. Grandma said, hi, Jake. Carlos said, yes, that's what I'm thinking, Lotus. Jake7 said, hi. Jake7 said, Grandma. Shannon said, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you checking on me. Daryl said, JH. Olivia said, hi, J7, you missed the showcase for Shark in my car. Jesus said, I'm probably going to get off here. Take care of you guys. Love you all. Jesus, you have a good night. Keep smiling. Keep your head up. Everything will work out. If you want to go on to college, something will work out one way or the other. And we got you in our prayers, buddy. Thank you for stopping in. Shannon said, hi, Grandma. Missed you. Lotus said, didn't bother me, looked brand new, and it worked good. Olivia said, Jesus, we love you. Have a good night. Carlos said, take care, Jesus. God bless. Jesus said, thank you, and I mean it. We do too, Jesus. Thanks, Olivia, said Jesus. Olivia said, always. Well, like I said, this YouTube thing has grown pretty big for us, and we, even though there's people on here we'll never meet, it all feels like family. So when things kind of get missing or people go, if it's different if we know that something's going on, but we like to check on people if we get a chance to make sure everything's all right, but I'm glad everything's fine. Jesus said, thanks, toys. Libby said, Lotus, go to hell. Carlos said, yes, that's the main thing, Lotus. Maria said, nice. You drink salad too? That's just water, Maria. Carlos said, welcome, Jesus. Jesus said, heart. Daryl said, Ghostly, I really hate when you say that. Maria said, oh, I thought it was salad soup. I might try some of that next time. Luke said, sorry, I know how I mess with Lotus and stir the pot. Mike said, hi, Shannon. We're working on it, Daryl. We're trying to get Olivia calm down and have positive thoughts, but she can be a handful every once in a while. You know how it goes. We're working on it, though. It's work in progress. Olivia said, I just called Lotus Caca Head from now on because think he hates it, Lord. Well, like I said, it may not bother you, but think about it for a second, Olivia. When you say that to Lotus, what happens if something happened to Lotus and that was the last thing you said to him? Because when the tree fell on Randy had kind of some hateful things to say. Not really hateful, but it was not. Randy did it as a joke, but it was not very nice things to say to Stephen, my middle son. And that's all Stephen thought about when I called him and told him Randy was going to, they were flying into the hospital. And it really tore Stephen up because that was the last thing that Randy said to him. And Stephen takes everything to heart. So those could be your last words to whoever you're talking to. That's the reason why we try not to. And there's something that Randy and I have been talking about too. We try not to say stuff like that because it could be the last time that you speak to that person. Let's see. Lotus says, doesn't bother me. Mary says, you don't feel any pain in your stomach after drinking that several times a day. Actually, it feels when it goes down right through here, it's just smooth. Man, it feels so good. Lotus said, oh, care. Kenny says, well, you all have a great night and God bless you all. You too, Kenny. Thank you for stopping in. Mike said, Valium works wonders. Carlos said, caca head, poo head. Daryl said, exactly. Levy says, I see your point, Pops. I'm sorry. Lotus says, may drop a 40-pound window on myself tomorrow. And it could very easily happen. I'm telling you, if you go back and watch the video, Randy and I had nothing but happy thoughts going on, and those seconds right there, I relive it time and time again, seeing that tree fall on Randy. Sylvia said, I hope you drop it on your bung toe for not helping me. Shannon said, hey, Long Wrench, happy Sunday. Olivia said, big. Lotus said, helping you with what? Lotus said, hey, I know how to dodge. Okay. Okay. Careful. Lotus said, not run like a squirrel. Well, that's the problem. If he would have run like a squirrel, we might would have been all right, but he runs straight. Squirrel don't run straight. But Randy's always been able to be aware of his surroundings. I have drilled that in him since he's been knee high to a grasshopper. He just froze and made a bad decision. Luda said, talking Boggy out of chroming the damn Charger. Dan Charger. I can't understand why everybody wants to stop somebody from doing something they won't. I mean, if you want a chrome Charger, let him chrome. I mean, if he wants a chrome Charger, let him do it. If I want to wear an orange shirt, I'll wear an orange shirt, whether you call it orange or not. Let's see, Luda said he wanted to paint it chrome. It's his car. Maria says, now I see two of Randy. Luda says, I'm just picking. Luda said, other. Maria said, I should probably go to sleep. It might be. Luda says, you don't have to ride on it. Luda says, no bad idea, Pop Pops. For you, he may like it. Luda said, it's a bad idea to you, but he may like it. Maria, if you do go to sleep, have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. Daryl said, I think it will be Jewel. Maria says, imagine if you have a twin. It'd be a fine man. I know that. Let's see, Olivia said he just going it for shits and giggles. Well, let him have his fun. Let us say he will like how many people don't like it. Exactly. Shannon said, good night, friends. Got to get up at 4. Have a wonderful night. Love y'all. Thank you, Shannon, for stopping in. You be safe and have a good night. Lotus says, and it can always be repainted. That's right. Mike says, whoop. He retracted that. I think he was talking to somebody else. Daryl said, I'd drive it. Yeah, I would too. Grandma said, good night, Shannon. God bless you. Buggy says, it's alive. Maria said, bye, everyone. I'm going to sleep. Sleep well, Maria. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. And whatever decision you make, it'll be right. Daryl said, Boggy. Maria says, have a good time, Randy. Lotus says, speaking of the pond monster, Grandma said, hi, Boggy. Mike says, Olivia, I want to thank you for coming to my live this morning. I appreciate it. Boggy says, it was solid plate. Lotus, no repainting it. Lotus says, night ground. Maria, Olivia said, always. Lotus said, there's always repainting. Shannon said, thank you, Grandma, with a heart. Olivia said, Nick, what are you doing? Same thing you are, talking in a live. Daryl said, it's actually chrome, Lotus. Lotus said, dust is blasting, we'll take it right back to bare metal. Boggy says, doing illegal things. Boggy says, what you doing? The same thing you doing, talking in this live. See, oh, making dinner? Awesome. What we having for dinner, Olivia? What'd you say, Pops? I said, what we having for dinner, Olivia? Chicken Alfredo. Yeah, you done told me that, hadn't you? I'm so dumb. I just made it. I'm sorry. You done said that in the live. I just didn't remember. fish memory, and tater tots, trailer tots. I'd eat the tater tots. You're fine. I asked if you was hungry. Yes. Daryl says, I'm going to get ready for the premiere and get a snack. See you in a bit. See you, Daryl. Thanks for stopping in. Libby said, hungry. I got a few more chocolate croutons here. And then I got to go wash some clothes. Libby said, bye, Mac. Grandma said rice mixed with broccoli and piece of steak in it. I like the rice and I like the steak. Nah, I can't do the broccoli. But it sounds good. See you later, Mac, said Grandma. Boggy says, we're almost done with the Chrome. So get back at it. GTG. But bye. I'll see you, Boggy. Thanks for stopping in. I'll take a picture of that Chrome car when you get done. Grandma said, it's great. Sound like Tony the Tiger. It's great. Woo! Young ones won't remember that. Olivia said, pond weed. Grandma said later, Boggy, God bless you, hun. Olivia said, I hope you stump your toe. Damn. Boggy said, God bless you, Grandma. Grandma said, thanks. Boggy said, I hope you chip your nail ass. Pape, how's your night going, boss man? It's going good, Pape. I'm glad you're here. I really don't want it to end because this will be the last day. I got to go back to work tomorrow. But it's life. Libby said, I hope you chip that chrome caca head. Grandma said, hi, Jordan. Boggy says, I can play this game all day, kid. Mary said, Hot Spring, Arkansas says, good night. Good night, Mary. Thank you for stopping in. Like I said, I do have a list here. I'll see if I can find it or get one of the kids to find it, put a pin in. Thank you for coming by. Jane said, good night, Mary. And Grandma said, hi, Mary. Lotus said, all the talk of caca make me go have a caca. Cleaver said, Jane, Boggy is being mean to my car. Grandma said, good night, Mary. God bless you. So Jane says, Lord, can't wait to see it live. Bogey said, snitch. Snitches get stitches. Man, this slowed down a lot. Jane said, hey, Boggy, you meanie? You meanie, Boggy? Popeye said, yeah, back to the grind tomorrow. Mondays are the worst day and see the, third shift messed up so I can fix it. Well, yeah, anytime you got shifts like that, somebody's always messing up. Somebody else got to fix it. Grandma said, and thorn in the ditches. That's right. Jane says, it's bedtime, Pops. I hate time changes. Me too, Jane. I really do. Now, I'm probably fixing to end this one, and like I said, I do have clothes to wash, and I got to finish my video. So that's probably a good idea. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and hop off here and go ahead and, like I said, I got to finish the video and go wash some clothes myself. Y'all have a good day, good night, and let's see. Hey, Pops, she uses that shark as a booster seat. That's what I figured. Grandma said, good night, Jane. God bless you. Y'all have a good day, good night, and remember, keep it silly. And I thank every one of y'all for coming into lives and helping out. Y'all have a good night.